In a world where animals roam the planet and talk like humans, and have normal day-to-day jobs while discovering themselves and becoming the best animal they can be. Welcome to Zootopia. I am your guide for safari jungles, and today we're gonna take a deep dive into the city that never sleeps. Except during the winter, because that's when hibernation is needed. Hey guys, my name is The Hero, and Zootopia 2 was just announced. So it only makes sense for me to make a video about all those Zootopia 2 theories out there. Some so crazy that they actually might have to happen. Like, where are the fish? Judy and Nick potential romance? Or why Nick's father went to get milk from the store and never returned. Like, some of these theories are so crazy that they are like the people that put milk in their bowl before cereal, or wear socks with flip-flops. The insanity! All these questions could be answered in this video, so stay tuned and grab your popcorn and let's dive into these theories. But before we can get started, we first need to touch base on the first Zootopia film, as this movie was a major Disney success, hopping over records like they were fences in your neighbor's backyard. At the time of release, the movie had the largest opening weekend for a Disney animated film, with people across the United States buying more than $75 million worth of tickets. That's more than people spend on deodorant if you've ever been close to someone on a bus recently. But it didn't end there. The box office totals pushed the popular movie Frozen to second place in opening weekend successes ever. You know, the movie about the girl who sings about letting it go but can't let it go and ends up living in an ice castle with a snowman. Yeah, totally normal. The film opened to record-breaking box offices in several countries and earned a worldwide gross of over $1 billion, making it the fourth highest grossing film of 2016 and first for animations that year. And currently, it is the third highest grossing Disney animated film of all time, only behind Frozen 2 and Frozen. Sorry, talking animals, but Anna and Elsa just be drinking a different type of juice. Plus, how can you beat a talking snowman voiced by Josh Gad? Impossible. But what made this animal-centric movie so successful? Why did it do so well, and what made it so popular? Well, considering its main character was a bunny, what kid wouldn't beg their parents to go see it? Like, who cares what it was about? When I was a kid, as long as the characters looked fun enough and I picked a favorite, I could watch a movie over and over until the VHS tape would get worn out. Sorry, Simba and friends, The Lion King had seen better days before my grimy kid hands got to it. Zootopia was as popular and profitable as it was for a reason. The film was a well-crafted, well-told original story with deep, rounded characters, a fascinating world, and an important message for modern kids and adults alike. Zootopia was such a fascinating universe, so fascinating that Shanghai Disneyland built a Zootopia world, which is set to open later this year. The characters Judy and Nick were not only easy to root for, but also had a genuine, wholesome friendship that fans quickly became obsessed with. Kinda like how Ariel's obsessed with dingle hoppers. Most importantly though, Zootopia successfully did what every good animated movie should do. It took a complex concept of the modern world and broke it down within the story to make it easier for kids to digest and understand. It's a blueprint to show kids how to be respectful to one another, especially when it comes to marginalized groups. And people still say that Disney and Pixar are just for kids. Psh, you know what is just for kids? Tricks. Or Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid. Now that you have taken a class in Zootopia 101, it's time that I dived into some of the best fan theories out there for Zootopia 2. And stay until the end of the video because I'm going to talk about the most requested storyline from fans, which is honestly my favorite theory out of all of them. But talking about favorites, Judy and Nick became instantly loved characters. From their different backstories to becoming partners for the ZPD, kids and adults grew to connect with these heroes and have been begging for more since the first film's release. Now, almost 7 years later, we could definitely see a more developed relationship shown between the sly fox and dumb bunny. Zootopia 2 could dive deeper into the characters' friendship and the cop aspect of the story. After all, we have two newly partnered cops waiting to solve more crimes and beating up bad guys. You know, a classic cop action film, but with a fox Bruce Willis and a bunny Uma Thurman. Okay, but seriously, who wouldn't pay to see that? Jennifer Goodwin, who voices Judy Hopps, has also expressed a theory that she would love to see, which would be a potential flipped script of the first film. This idea would focus on Nick Wilde taking the central protagonist role and help Judy still see the good in the world after some events transpire to make her doubt the good they are doing. But obviously, fans want
meal.
We always want more. And one way this could happen in the sequel is exploring a potential love relationship between Judy and Nick. Many fans believe there was some kind of spark between the characters in the first film, and this second movie could explore that. All I have to say to this is, haven't you heard dating someone you work with never turns out well? Imagine it doesn't work out, and now Judy is stuck with a carnivore as a partner who hates her guts. Or likes them? Nick and Judy's relationship in Zootopia was an unlikely one, especially given Judy's bias against foxes. However, as they worked on their investigation together, and Judy worked on herself, it became clear that they had a connection. But as of the film's end, this only went as far as a friendship, and partners of course, but audiences couldn't help but see more. Despite being members of different species, as we see no other interspecies relationships ever were seen in the first Zootopia, their chemistry was definitely there. This very idea of a romantic relationship between the two characters was actually discussed by the film's directors, Byron Howard and Rich Moore. They revealed that their most received question is what the nature of the two unlikely protagonists' relationship is, and they didn't yet have an answer. It will either be romantic or it will stay a friendship, they both said, explaining that either could still be a viable option. This is good news for shippers, but given the crucial themes of Zootopia, romance may be a problem. If Nick and Judy were to become a couple in Zootopia 2, it would likely aim to demonstrate the difficulties that often arise from non-traditional relationships. The first film explored the impacts of fear and stereotyping on society. Zootopia's Nick and Judy could be equated to a real-life interracial couple if this were to happen. This is another great topic to discuss, and it's the kind of diversity that is important for children to understand and accept as the norm. However, representing these concepts with an interspecies relationship could be highly problematic, making it look like the characters are not normal for having this kind of relationship. But in the Disney world, what is actually normal? I mean, Belle married a dog-like character, and Prince Eric married a fish. So shippers still have hope. And since we are talking about important, impactful themes, which Zootopia most likely will touch on another one in the sequel, this brings me to my next theory. Zootopia 2 could focus on gender equality. The first film, as we discussed a bit already, was centralized around the modern idea of stereotyping people by their looks. This film can actually keep up with that and focus on the idea of gender roles, as Judy currently is the only woman cop in the ZPD. As well as pretty much every other female character we meet in the movie are either gorgeous celebrities such as Gazelle, wives such as Mrs. Otterton, chatty shoppers such as Frou Frou, or just downright evil such as Dawn. Honestly, it's like the Real Housewives of Zootopia. It could be an interesting concept and another modern idea to focus on for the kids of tomorrow. And how about society class? Does social class affect anything in Zootopia? Just like modern society, this movie could move to the modern idea of how class affects, if any, on the city and characters in Zootopia. While most of Zootopia's residents seem to be happily and gainfully employed, there are still some mammals reduced to making a living as grifters, as well as a notorious and feared crime syndicate. I mean, seriously, just don't mess with Mr. Big and everything will be okay. Because if you do, you might just disappear. So what is the class division in the city really like? If issues of poverty and wealth disparity seem too woke for an animated film to tackle, just remember that the first Zootopia taught children that stereotyping is really just institutionalized fear manufactured by those in power to keep the masses in check and made them laugh at the same time. Again, people still say animation is just for kids. Psh. But there is one thing that drives me crazy when it comes to these films, and that is the issue of, where are the other animals? Where are the fish? Where are the birds that everyone is so scared that will poop on their heads? Where are the real world problems? Zootopia is home to countless varieties of mammals, but only mammals, and land mammals specifically. But what about their aquatic cousins? Birds, fish, amphibians? Do any of these creatures exist in this world? And if so, why are they being segregated outside of Zootopia? Which leads me to another theory. What is beyond the borders of Zootopia? We were introduced to certain districts already in the first movie, such as Downtown, Rainforest District, and Tundra Town. But a glimpse of a map of Zootopia was shown in the first film, and if you pause, we can actually see other districts exist, such as Canal District, Canyonland, Marshlands, Meadowlands, Polar Strait, and Sahara Square. But what lies outside of Zootopia? What does the wilderness of this fictional world look like? Especially if the normal wilderness is its everyday bustling city. What if Zootopia is like a Last of Us quarantine zone and everything outside of it is dead or deserted? So many questions, so many sequel possibilities. I would personally love to see them venture into these other zones and introduce new characters that more kids and adults could connect with and find new plot conflicts outside the walls of the city. This in turn could set up a potential genre change for Zootopia. The first film was a buddy cop comedy, while the second one has a bunch of potential shifts to take. According to co-writer Jared Bush, Zootopia was initially conceived as a spy movie before undergoing drastic rewrites, including being centered around Nick Wilde. With that in mind, we can take another detour from the norm we got with the first movie, and this one could go back to its roots to the original spy movie idea. And with this this huge world of hypothetical plots and an everlasting concept of characters, other entries could tackle westerns, pirate adventures, or adrenaline-filled action as long as the financial successes keep coming. There could be endless possibilities in a world made up by talking animals. And now we have finally reached the best theory for Zootopia 2 that I have found. Coming from someone that loves comics and figuring out a hero's backstory, there's a theory out there that we could get a potential backstory to Nick Wilde's character. Considering that Nick was the original story's main character, this would make the most sense to go back to his roots and make the story more focused on his character. In the movie we did get, the story focused mainly on Judy Hopps and took a detour from the original idea, so this sequel could be perfect to finally explore those ideas. We could also take a deep dive and learn more about Nick's father and what really happened to him. Was he actually a bad guy? Did he pay child support? Or did he run off to LA and become a drag queen named Foxy? I mean, we need to know. It would be a fantastic idea for fans who have been wondering this for years and not have answers. Or we could potentially get those answers and they not be very thrilling, much like Andy's dad's whereabouts in Toy Story being down to just Pixar saving money. I mean, but let's be honest, there's a Mr. Krabs in all of us.
Ooh, I like money.
Either way, this idea of exploring the first movie's secondary hero would be an interesting plot, including using Judy's detective skills to figure out what really happened. Zootopia 2 has a potential release date in 2025, so we have some time to still wait. But that just means more and more theories the closer we get, and I cannot wait. What are your theories for Zootopia 2? I would love to read them, so make sure you comment what you would love to see in Zootopia 2. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can watch more. And make sure to check out this video because YouTube recommends it and you're gonna love it, as well as check out this playlist because why not? I put it there, you need to see it. And until the next video, stay geeky, stay nerdy, and I will see you guys at the movies. Bye bye.